Hello everyone and welcome back to JB's Total Gaming, where today we're going to be taking a look at Core Worlds Digital, the digital version of the board game Core Worlds. So if we look at the Kickstarter page here, and I was a backer of the game, we see this new artwork and ability subject to change. And we'll scroll down here and take a look at what the concept art for the game is supposed to look like. So a UI kind of similar to the player boards in the game, some nice artwork laid out in, the galaxy that you are going to conquer. So let's take a look at what the game actually looks like. Alright, to start this review, I'd like to talk about a few negatives of the game. Well, first, when we look at the main menu here, the network option isn't there. So the game talks about being able to play with friends. So I don't know if that means only friends online, or if you're talking about hot seat, or if you can play with random people eventually, but the game is not in early access. It's released and the network option isn't there. Speaking of options, no options there. So you can play hot seat or single player. So we go into single player. We can do the draft where we get a few better starting cards to start the game, but we want to jump right into the game, so we're not going to do that and just play against one AI. I'm not going to focus on playing the game or playing the game well or whatever here. I just want to show the app. And we have a minute to talk while the game loads, because the load screen is a little bit long. So that stuff is grayed out. Yeah. When we get into the game, we'll talk about the tutorial and the UI. I have some issues with those as well. So the tutorial, I'll show you real quick, just has some text. If you're not familiar with Core Worlds, don't learn it by playing this game. Watch a video on YouTube, play through how to play or whatever. It'll give you a little better idea. So let's go ahead and bring up the tutorial first before we talk about anything else. Yeah, so here we go. Question mark. Yeah. So here it is, some text or whatever that kind of tells you some things. If you don't know the game already, this is not helpful. I played the game once a few years ago, really enjoyed it, thought it was a little long for a deck builder, which is why I was so excited about the app. Yeah, I'm not going to say anything right now. So let us look at the actual game. So here we are, draw phase. Nothing really to do here. We're going to end a turn. We're going to get to the energy phase. So I'm going to tap energy. Look at this nice big text asking me if I would like to do that. Sure, let's use the ability. We have another energy surge. Yeah, why don't we go ahead and use that as well? Okay, we'll hit yes. And then we'll go to the main action phase. So, end turn. Okay, so now we're in the action phase. Do you remember that concept art image? Yeah, so we have kind of the universe, galaxy, whatever thing in the background, which is really pretty much just a static image except for kind of the stars and the cloud nebulas moving around, but like just kind of the same image all game, every game, and that's the prettiest part of the game. So, yeah, remember that nice card artwork? Not there. So, you remember in the original game, if you've seen it, or in the images of the concept art, all the symbols in the game are pretty easy to understand. Yellow circle is energy. You can, at a quick glance, notice energy. Here, all of these red holographic icons, which can be a little hard to delineate, especially for a new player that doesn't know the game well. Just not as simple. When I want to see artwork of a card, I can see like this holographic image. Sure, it kind of moves a little bit, which is cool, but it's like a tooltip, and then it's done in hologram, and then if I want to see the text on the card, you see how small that is and difficult to read with it over top of everything and being so small, especially compared to the other text? What in the world? I don't get it. So all that artwork is now a tooltip, and it's hard to read in these symbols. So not only is that a weird UI decision, but the color scheme reminds me of a White Stripes album. So why do I say that? So the White Stripes read an article about how the most effective color scheme is black, white, and red, and all of their album covers featured that. Well, this game seems to have read that same article because, well, as you can see, pretty much everything is black, white, and red. Instead of having sensible, simple symbols and colors to delineate things quickly and clearly. Remember how before it had like a layout up top of all the different player symbols and different colors and kind of their stats? Well, that's over on the side here. So let's go ahead and drag some units up. I'm not going to play through the whole game or try to show you how to play it well. So I'm going to try to drag my snub fighter up here. I say try because you notice my snub fighter didn't move. I haven't done a lot of research, but I haven't read about if other people are having this issue or not. It could be my type of iPad, but I've never had an issue with my iPad before trying to drag things. There we go. Second attempt worked. But this game is super frustrating. So I'm going to quickly try to drag this other snub fighter. Nothing happened. Every other game I've ever played, if I touch something and drag it, it reacts. This one, I have to apply more pressure than I expect for longer than I expect. But if I apply pressure for too long, the tooltip will move up, and then I won't be able to move the card. So I have to apply just the right amount of pressure for just the right amount of time to move the card. Yeah, didn't work. Didn't work. There we go. Third attempt. I was able to get this to drag up there. Every time you play a card to your tableau, every time you use a card to attack a city, you're dragging in this game. And again, I've cleaned my screen. I've never had issue with another game. I don't know what specifically it is, if it's an issue other people are having, but it is unbelievably frustrating. So, I don't know. Let's play the grunts out too, and then we'll end our turn. So I want to show you what the computer's turn looks like. So, come on. No, I didn't. Oh. No. No, you... So, actually, can you move a guy back? That's a good question. No. Because one other thing about the UI I'm going to point out. See that undo button over there? See how it's grayed out? The tutorial talks about an undo button. Not available right now. So, if I played the wrong card, too bad I played it. No undo button in a board game app is unacceptable. There's one there, you just can't use it right now. So who knows if or when that will be fixed, but the game should not have been launched without it. So there we go. We played my grunts, and I will end the turn. Yeah, did you enjoy the computer's turn? Because they took it. So a lot of games give you an option to see the computer's turn or skip it. This just skips it. And if I want to see it, I have to click in just the right spot over here on the right. There we go. On these very small icons to be able to see, okay, they drafted this card. So it would be nice to have the option to see the turn, but you don't have that. And if you click on just the right little dinky spot over here, you can... No, stop. Okay, there we go. Now, back to the screen. So I might try to attack a planet, although I really don't want to because it's frustrating. But I guess I'll try to do it as I talk. So let's see, our two snub fighters can take this out. So, as far as the game goes, so grayed out, yeah, I am trying to drag things here. Grayed out options, grayed out online play. Yeah, gosh. The long load times I can deal with, whatever. So no undo button, a White Stripes album cover color scheme that doesn't make any sense and makes it more difficult to read than the actual well-done card art design of the base game. A design that tries to make it look like you're conquering a galaxy, but it's mostly kind of just a static image. And while I appreciate that the artwork moves on the cards, it's only when you're using it as a tooltip. Yeah. The text is super small. It is shockingly hard to drag things. There's no undo button. And lastly, and this is kind of the final straw here, the AI is terrible. So first let me talk about this. You do have these special abilities that sometimes when they trigger, the game will ask if you want to use it. Sometimes you have special abilities available to you the game doesn't tell you could use. Whenever you have an ability you can use, like for example, if I have a unit with a special ability, it'll ask me if I want to use that unit's special ability. It won't tell me what it is. So if I don't remember, if I forgot my unit had an ability, well, too bad. I mean, you could say that's on me, but I would appreciate if it said, oh, do you want to spend 4 energy to keep this unit in your tableau? Not, do you want to use this unit's special ability? But anyways, that's kind of a small issue compared to the other issues I have, like the bad AI. I've only played the base game once, and I've played through 2 complete games of the app and a bunch of test things where I was testing things out before I wanted to do this review. But that was all I really needed in order to do the review. Okay. Second time, I don't remember what the first score, I won by a lot. The second time it was 37-8, I wrote down here. Yeah. So, I've only played the base game once. I shouldn't be winning 37-8. That's a bad sign. So, let's talk about the positives. I could try to say the game looks pretty. I've heard some people say that, but it's a mostly static image of a galaxy that never changes and there's no dynamics or anything, and it's the same image throughout the entire game, all game. That's it. The music, real light, ambient in the background, is just kind of little noises here and there, really not noticeable, and when it is noticed, I don't particularly like it, but that's kind of a subjective thing, I guess. So, what do I want to say that's positive about the game? So, I'm not going to say the game looks pretty, because it's just that one image. That's it. And every other design decision, I think, was terrible as far as appearance. It allows you to play the game more quickly. That's why I was excited about this app, because I liked the game, but I thought it was a little bit long for a deck builder. So when I saw it, I was like, I'll back that for $5, and we're not going to get into the whole thing where it costs $1 briefly, and the reasons why that may or may not have been, but whatever. I didn't get it 2 weeks early like I was supposed to, but aside from all that, well, I can't really think of anything really positive to say about it. So one of the things I pride myself on this channel is trying to, be as objective as possible. Say, who's going to like a game and not like a game. And I've seen some reviewers maybe not like something for, whatever reason that they don't like it, not appreciate that other people might like the game. The game isn't garbage because there's this component that they don't like or this aspect that they don't like. And I really do. I think it's important on my channel to try to be as consumer friendly as possible, to try to say, like, hey, here are people who are going to like the game even though I don't. Or if a game I like, here are people who might not like it and reasons why somebody might not like the game. And I get frustrated when reviewers aren't able to do that. For this game, this is my first ever just flat not recommend. And let me explain why, though, before I do that. So I'm a very small channel. In general, I have less than 200 subscribers. I have a few videos with multiple thousands of views because I actually got something close when it came out. But in general, very small, so everything I get I pay for myself. I, in general, research things and get something that I'm pretty sure I'm going to like. I've had a few games I've purchased over the years that I haven't really enjoyed, and I've said, like, I don't really enjoy this, here's why. But here's why it could be enjoyed by some people. And I can't really do that here because the enjoyable aspect is, hey, you can play Core Worlds more quickly than the board game. Well, that is the bare minimum bar standard of a playable app. Yes, you can play the board game more quickly. That's why one of the reasons why apps are kind of nice. But that's it. That's because Core Worlds is kind of a cool game and I can play it on an app. Great. That's a positive of Core Worlds, not of the app. There's nothing about the app itself that's adding that experience. So what am I talking about? So take something like Eclipse. I might do a review for that app just to cleanse my palate after this one. A game that's way more complicated than this. The interactive tutorial isn't going to teach you the whole game, but it's going to at least help you out. It displays an amazing amount of information in a smart way. Easy to read, you can pull panels in and out, have multiple panels up, and it just makes a much more complicated game with much more information, displays that information in a way that makes sense and is clear with good decisions both in art style and in UI. This, in my opinion, has objectively bad art style with everything being red holograms. It makes the game more difficult to play. The nice artwork is hidden. The text is hard to read. The UI it's clunky. First of all, it doesn't respond well to actually trying to play it. It's sometimes, knowing the game, I can play the game, but this app doesn't add anything to it. So there you go. This is very difficult for me to say, but overall, this is an app that I cannot recommend it. Who is it for? I will say, if you really need to play Core Worlds as an app, then yeah, you can get this. It's functional. You can play it, and hopefully your iPad will actually respond to your drags, and hopefully, I don't know. But you're going to have to play it against friends or bad AI, and it is the first time ever I can flatly say I don't recommend something. So there you go. There is my review of Core Worlds. I'll be sure to do some other apps in the future, but I'm very disappointed to say that this one I'm disappointed. So thanks a lot for watching, and we will talk to you guys again soon.